starting with the Nigerian Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed. And yes, you heard me right. The Nigerian Minister of Information, our very own spin doctor. Yeah, his first name is Lai. It's inevitable, right? The pun is begging me. Lai called the shooting a fabrication of a massacre without bodies. He said I was a purveyor of fake news with the intent of tarnishing the nation's image, that I am a terrorist, amongst other things. The Nigerian army called the shooting fake and that I had made the whole thing up with a green screen. Yes, I have plans of heading to Hollywood after this speech. You know, 15 people died on the 20th of October, and not a single government official, police, or army personnel has been brought to book. 15, at least, all while singing the national anthem. As an artist and a DJ, I listen to music a lot, all the time. And I'm reminded of the legend, the artist, Fela Anikulapo Kuti. He was known for speaking truth to power with his art. And I'm reminded of his 1977 song titled Zombie. Here, Fela likens the Nigerian military to mindless zombies following idiotic orders. It was relevant then, it is relevant today, and it most likely will be relevant tomorrow, in the future. The same future that they say is in the hands of the leaders of tomorrow. But what we have tomorrow are recycled leaders of today who have failed to provide an enabling environment for young leaders to thrive and contribute. No, but they chose instead to kill us all off, one by one. This might sound outrageous to you, and you might wonder why. And I'll tell you. Our leaders are afraid. It's as simple as that. They're afraid of a thinking, an innovative, a collaborative, and a working Nigeria. They're afraid of every young Nigerian who, against all odds, have made it for themselves. They are afraid of me, the coconut head generation, as we like to call ourselves. We're hard-headed, we're not easily deceived by propaganda, and we stand up to our oppressors. And while we may not do this all the time because wahala no dey finish, as we like to say back home, I think there's a Nigerian in the crowd. Well, what it means though is that the problems never end. And while I understand that we have to take a break to put food on the table to at least secure our mental health, know this. Corruption, tyranny, abuse of power do not go on a break. And so today I'm choosing to use my voice and my talent to push for the things that we ought to have. And I want to ask you all, these fine people, to please join me and support my vision for promoting democracy, human rights values, and equality through arts. Thank you so much for your time.
You are an embodiment of a Nigerian youth the government are afraid of. Peter Okoye praises DJ Switch. Welcome to the news, and thank you for tuning to listen. Now the news in detail. In her speech at the Also Freedom Forum, the entertainer referenced Fela Anikulapo Kuti 1977 hit song, Zombie, making her voice heard as she was live on the very incident, on the very night this particular thing happened, on the 20th of October 2020, precisely towards just by this time. That is when this particular thing happened, during this period. It is really it is what we call a patriotic kind of, only that the government of this day would not agree, making sure your voice is heard. The government will think that they are doing, or rather she or Nigerian youths they are doing what is wrong. But I tell you, it will only take for the government to become the electorate now. It will take for the government for the time to expire and they become the electorate. Nothing again guarding them from those in power. That is when they will know that her act was an act of a patriotic citizen of Nigeria who wants her voice to be heard. That is what every youth that participated in the EndSARS protest and even the recent EndSARS memorial want. That their voice is heard, and that not just heard, that a government do something or does something about the issues that they are bringing to their attention. That is just it. So indeed, she is an embodiment of a Nigerian youth. D1SGRACE, popular Nigerian musician Peter Okoye, aka Mr. P, has showered praise on Nigerian disc jockey D1SGRACE. This comes after her speech at Oslo Freedom Forum. In her speech at the Oslo Freedom Forum, the entertainer referenced Fela Anikulapo Kuti 1977 hit song Zombie, where he likened the Nigerian army to zombies, saying that they are like mindless zombies following idiotic orders. D1SGRACE, who gained prominence after doing a live video of the Lekki toll gate shooting last October, also chided Nigeria's Minister of Information and Culture, who she described as one of the country's oppressors. She said, "As an artist and a DJ, I listen to music a lot all the time, and I am reminded of the legend, the artist Fela Anikulapo Kuti. He was known for speaking truth to power with his music, and I am reminded of his 1977 song titled Zombie. Here, Fela likens the Nigerian military to mindless zombies following idiotic orders. It was relevant then, it is relevant today, and it is most likely relevant tomorrow and in the future. The same future that they say is in the hands of the leaders of tomorrow, but what we have tomorrow are recycled leaders of today who has failed to provide an enabling environment for young leaders to thrive and contribute. But they chose instead to kill us all off, one by one. This might sound outrageous to you, and you might wonder why. I will tell you, our leaders are afraid. It is as simple as that. They are afraid of a thinking, innovative, and collaborating working Nigeria. They are afraid of every young Nigerian who, against all odds, have made it for themselves. They are afraid of me, the coconut head generation, as we like to call ourselves. We are hard-headed. We are not easily deceived by propaganda. We stand up to oppressors, starting with the Nigerian Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed. Yes, you heard me right. The Nigerian Minister for Information, our very own spin doctor, his first name is Lai. It is inevitable, right? The pawn is begging me. Lai called the shooting a fabrication of a massacre without bodies. He said I was a purveyor of fake news with an intent of tarnishing the nation's image, and I am a terrorist, among other things. The Nigerian army called the shooting fake, and I had made the whole thing up with a green screen. Yes, I have plans of going to Hollywood after the speech. Reacting to D1SGRACE speech, Peter Okoye described the entertainer as an embodiment of Nigerian youth the government are afraid of. He thanked her for representing Nigerian youths and making sure our voices are being heard, Peter wrote. Just listening to this speech by a treasure of inestimable value, I am so proud of you at the D1SGRACE. You are an embodiment of a Nigerian youth the government are afraid of. Thank you for representing us and making our voice heard. You are indeed a heroine. We will never forget what happened on the 20th of October 2020. EndSARS. Protect D1SGRACE. It is disheartening that even up until recently, the Lekki massacre is still not worse. It was referred to as an audio or a phantom massacre, according to the Minister of Information. And now it is still being referred to as a phantom massacre. And I keep asking myself, when will our leaders wake up? When? You cannot say that there was no massacre. That would only mean that the riot that happened after the peaceful protest and the protest itself before the massacre was never true. That is, you're going to tell people of not just Nigeria but the world that there was never a protest. But thank God for technology. Thank God for technology. So they're trying to say that what actually happened was that this whole thing was like a movie. It was a movie. Then I think DJ Switch is she is very, very multi-talented, and Hollywood should grab her and harness her creative abilities. Back to what we meant. Back to the news. Yes, she celebrated just like every other youth that has learnt their voice. What we are crying out for, what the citizens of Nigerians are crying out for, both young, both old, both children, they are crying out against bad government. Somebody is crying out against a thing. It is because our current leaders are seeming so comfortable with this said menace that is troubling our nation. They are comfortable with bad governance. They are comfortable with things being stagnant. Our economy is deteriorating. The insecurity level has gone far above the roof. In fact, it is getting to cloud 9. If there's anything like cloud 9, it has gotten away. It is now more than be careful, and it is gradually spreading to other states. I do not know why these things they're agitating against the people now. You keep saying that they should stop. You keep saying that they should stop. You keep saying that they should stop agitating and that, they are making things up. And I ask, if they're making things up, are they also making the bad government up? Are they also making the bad government up? Are they saying that things are right in Nigeria? Will only those in government and the families of those in governments come out and say this particular administration favors of? Meanwhile, the common average Nigerian would tell you that your heart is bleeding. If it is so, then the government has to go back to the drawing board and have a rethink. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.